just like the last 2 days, we're actually going to be moving it right before lunch, and we will be drawing 2 prizes. So don't worry, we're not shortchanging anybody. We're just moving it to a later time. Okay, so our next panel discussion is going to be talking about logistics, specifically the digitalization challenges in the logistics industry. Now, in this day and age, logistics are slowly gaining the importance it deserves due to the rise in e-commerce. With the increase in transaction volume, logistic providers have to create new and innovative delivery solutions to address current customer expectations. On screen right now, we have our moderator, the Managing Director and Founder of CLLB, Berhad, Reshma Yousuf. Hi.
Hi there. Hi, Laureen. Thank you very much for inviting me. And I'm very honored to be moderating this event on behalf of MDEC and Exabytes. Thank you.
It's an absolute privilege to have you as our moderator here today as well. Now let's go ahead and introduce our panelists. We have Izzairi Yamin, the founder and CEO of ZeptoExpress Berhad. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how's your week been so far?
So far, a bit hectic, but good, doing good. Yeah.
Well, the good news is it's Thursday and it's one more day till the weekend. So hang in there. We also have the CEO of EasyParcel, Clarence Leong. Hi, Clarence.
Hi everyone.
Hello, long time no see. And how have you been doing?
So far it's okay. All good, all good.
That's good to know. And last but not least, we have Jennifer Leong, the Dreamweaver of Alien Logistics. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Lorraine. Nice to meet everybody here.
Yes, and nice to meet you too. Reshma, whenever you're ready, please take it away. You have 40 minutes, 30 minutes for the discussion, and the last 10, if you could answer the Q&As that come in through the Q&A box, that'd be wonderful.
Thank you very much, Laureen. And okay, nice to see all of you online. Jennifer, Izzairi, and Clarence, good morning, and good morning to the audience today. So this section, we're going to be talking about digitalization in the area of logistics, and we've got some great examples, some great speakers here. And we'll start with them sharing generally how they got into digitization, and what were the initial challenges they faced, and what are the kind of opportunities that they've been able to tap onto just by doing so. So I'll start with first asking Jennifer from Alien Logistics to join us. But before that, I just want to ask Jennifer something. I've asked her before. She didn't answer this, so I'm going to wait for her to answer this to us probably right here on a live session. So Jennifer, why Dreamweaver? That's such an interesting title. And then we have CEOs and CFOs and CTOs, and here you are, a Dreamweaver. Can you explain this a little bit before you start giving us your journey?
Quite an outstanding title, isn't it? So
Indeed.
what happened was when Alien was first set up, there were just the two of us, right? So the MD was the dream lord. So whatever he dreamt up, the Dreamweaver would weave into reality. And that's why I'm called the Dreamweaver for Alien Logistics.
Awesome. It's almost like a fairy tale or something out of one of those Harry Potter books. It's interesting. Yes, please go ahead, Jennifer. Let us know your journey and you know, the whole digitalization. How did you get into it, and the opportunities you've been able to tap onto?
Right. Well, firstly, good morning to everybody. And thank you to MDEC and Exabytes for this opportunity to be on the panel discussion together with the esteemed Ms. Reshma of CLLB, the introvert Izzairi of ZeptoExpress, and the shiny happy Clarence of EasyParcel. I'm Jennifer Leong, the Dreamweaver of Alien Logistics, and we are an international freight forwarder based in Malaysia. So Alien operates in the B2B arena of logistics, where we work with shipping lines and airlines to move commercial goods, ranging from raw materials like chemicals and timber to finished goods like gloves, food, and furniture. So looking back at our digitalization journey, we can break it down into a few milestones. So when we started, it was humbly in the meeting room of another company. So mobility was then very key. The challenge back then was the conception that desktops were more powerful than laptops, and also laptops back then for corporate use were very expensive. But having worked in DG and Mactis, hashtag hi Praveen, I understood that mobility and access to information at all times needed to be the foundation of our operations. Gradually, technology and pricing evolved to support this direction. Things got cheaper and better. Then as we grew, it was a bit faster than we anticipated. We had then moved to an office which had really good feng shui, and we didn't want to move, right? So, but it was too small to house the growing team. So the next setup, our subsidiary, Orbit Shipping, had to be located in a different location. And that was when digitalization took a hockey curve. We had to find a solution to give our team seamless access to files and our one little accounting server. So we ventured into VPN. It was a good way for both teams to securely access private corporate data through the internet. Then, right, as the team grew, as you know, information handover between sales teams and customer service teams started to get a little bit mixed up. Had to look through emails and WhatsApps for bits of information all over the place to get the job done. That wasn't working out. So we worked with a startup to develop our quotation and job allocation system. With all the information needed to do a job right there in front of everybody, there was no mistake. Well, still human error. Much less mistakes, and the jobs got done much better. That actually gave us a little bit of an edge over the guys who were not new normal ready, because information handover is very key. Something gets missed out and a shipment can actually go wrong. Right. What happened next in Alien is very interesting. Our team members started asking, is there more to life than copy and paste, right? Because in sea freight shipments, a very important but very routine job is the creation of a bill of lading.
Yes.
The customers will give you the information in one format, but the shipping lines need it in another format. So there was a lot of copy and pasting. And our customer service were wondering, like, is there more to life than this? So in order to give them more time to interact with the customer and to solve problems, and things like that, we started exploring the RPA, Robotic Process Automation. This was made possible courtesy of the FinLab program, which we participated with, run by UOB, and in conjunction with the MDEC. While it took our CS mere minutes to format a very familiar customer's information template into the shipping line site, an unfamiliar or a new customer would take them about 8 minutes. So that was a lot of time, not to mention having to answer emails, phone calls. So now with the RPA, the robot takes care of this routine work in the background, while the customer service gets more time with the customer to do more human things.
That's good. That sounds, I think you need a little glass of water or something. Are you okay?
I'm okay. Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay, great. Yeah, because there is a lot of repetition in this line of business multiple times. Exactly. Carry on, Jennifer.
Right. So after that happened, the MCO hit. The challenges we faced were that internet connection from staff houses, not everybody's on broadband. Some people have just 3G. So because of that, access to the firewall is very problematic. Severe lagging, and then you just get kicked out. So while the VPN enabled people to do canggih things like press print from home, document comes up in the office, but we could hardly access our SQL server. So accounting was very badly impacted. Our cash flow suffered because we couldn't get invoices out, we couldn't pay suppliers on time. Something had to be done. So we moved our accounting system onto the cloud. Not only did that help our cash flow improve, but our suppliers were also much happier when we could pay them on time. So then the question is, what's next? Where do we go from here, right? Work from home is something we see is going to stay. But not just that, because of COVID, some good talents around the world may have lost their jobs. So if our platform is set up right, our next salesperson could be based in Vietnam, our next customer service could be based in Sri Lanka or Philippines. The possibilities are endless with technology priced right and done well.
Thank you very much. That's a very interesting story, because you've also given insights for 3PLs or freight forwarders who are actually quite clueless into how exactly should we get started when it comes to, digitization or digitalizing certain portions of their operations. So it's interesting. And yes, I also remember during the MCO, the challenge with regards to the financials, the accounting system. So it was very good when SQL as well joined in and these services were able to be used over the cloud. So that's really interesting. Thank you very much, Jennifer.
Thank you, Reshma.
We will have the banter in terms of, question answers after our two other speakers also share their journeys with us. So the next speaker I would like to invite is Clarence. Clarence is from EasyParcel, and Clarence is the CEO of EasyParcel. Clarence, please go ahead and share your journey. So all I know is you have a master's degree in material science, aerospace, and it's like Latin to me. So you're going to have to explain what exactly it is that you studied, because here you are now, founder and CEO of a e-commerce solution specifically for us in the logistics and those needing shipping. So please, the floor is yours now, Clarence. Please let us know how the science aerospace guy ended up here as well.
Hi, morning everyone. Thanks again for having me. Basically, that is nothing to do with what I'm doing now, but it's more to as a customers what we really need at the end of the day, right? So that also gives us the starts of why we started venturing into logistics, because we are also buying something online ourselves, and there are still a lot of rooms for the local or even international or the regional logistic to grow, comparing to all the advanced country like Japan, like China. The landscape is so big and everything can be done in the same day delivery. So how can we also do that as a customers? Because online is always spontaneous, right? When you buy something, it's the instant behavior that you want it to happen now. And once you click buy now, and how can you get the item same day or even as soon as possible? So that actually started the thinking of how can we improve and where are the lacking part of the entire ecosystem. So that's where it kickstarted. So we started as a technology company. If you just mentioned our background, right? To be fair, the entire company, the team of the company, we don't really have any background as in what we do. Like none of us actually from the courier service industry, none of us from the logistic industry, and we have over 100 of them. And all of us are average age of us is about 23 to 25, except me. So you can actually see how different it is in the ecosystem that we are trying to make a difference. So technology is definitely a big thing, and going digital and digitize the process flow is definitely one of the key things. Like key challenges that we face when we first talk about EasyParcel to the partners that are currently supporting us, a lot of question marks actually in their mind. Oh, can this really be done? Because a lot of time, all our partners has been in the industry for so long, and they have their experience as they have been through so much, as in all the challenges that they are facing. And coming from hearing all these crazy idea from someone with aerospace background doesn't make sense, right? So even to convince the partners to join us in the early days, that actually is a big hurdle in the process, not just even to go into digitalization. So I think that is the key part of the entire thing.
So can I just cut in and ask you something just to put some clarity in terms of what EasyParcel is all about? So you're pretty much like a non-asset-based e-commerce solution for the logistics industry, right?
Yes.
Can I say that your partners are generally probably owner-operators or separate companies that are offering the physical end of the business in terms of the delivery portion, where you offer the platform, the e-commerce platform to connect all of these parties? Am I right to say that?
Take Agoda, for example, right?
Yes.
So they are a platform for hotels.
Yes.
So Parcel works exactly the same, but focusing on courier services and e-commerce enablers.
So it's mostly for the last mile delivery, not so much the B2B section, is it?
It's a mixture of both, actually, because B2Bs, we started off looking after small SMEs, small mom and pops, even all the people who sell on Facebook, social channels, Instagram. And then along the years, we actually see B2Bs also coming on board. So we can actually see a difference as in why automation is so important comparing to processing your orders manually, right? In a traditional way.
Yes, that's very interesting. So the challenges you faced were with the initial getting your partners on board to facilitate this whole idea that you had come up with it. what, 2014, right? I see it in June 2014, you started this.
Yeah, that time still got hair.
So the opportunities have been, I would say, really good for you. Have you been able to reach out, or are you still facing resistance with certain people? I think with this whole COVID-19 situation has made a massive mind shift, right?
Yeah.
So I think the acceptance of this is a lot better right now.
Yeah, we are actually very thankful throughout the journey, as in the support from all the partners on the belief that someone from an engineering background to tell them what we see moving forward, right? And then they do buy in, as in how can we also be part of it, and let's make something different together. Because in the logistic industry, there are still a lot of hindering or even challenges. Example, most of them, they don't really own a technical team.
Yes.
And most of them is outsourced to software house or third party. So for them to actually develop something, even though they know what to do, but it's also a challenge for them to manage a technical team, especially young people, right? So we are also helping on this part. So throughout the journey, and also some of the key milestone achieved, that actually open up even more greater opportunity for all the partners that has been supporting us all this journey.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Clarence. So again, we'll continue with some questions after we have listened to Encik Muhammad Izzairi. Izzairi is from ZeptoExpress. So I believe, Encik Izzairi, you are offering the full-fledged backend as well as the front end, meaning the e-commerce platform, as well as the whole backend in terms of the courier services as well, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so please do share with us, Izzairi. Let us know how your journey has been since you've started this, and what are the challenges you faced, and then after that we'll take some questions from everyone.
Okay, so basically, I haven't thought of opening up or start a logistic company. Okay, because my background was in software. I was a software developer.
Computer science, exactly. I can see that. Yeah.
I was developing a lot of software for banking, insurance, drones. So one day I wanted to buy batteries for my drone, and then I just called the shop owner and I asked him if I could make it in time. I think that was on a Friday night, and then he was saying, now it's already 8 p.m. If you're coming from Bangi or Kajang, you will not make it in time to Paradise Mall. So he told me to order online, and then make the payment for the delivery and pay for the batteries online. Battery cost 400 ringgit. The delivery cost 38 ringgit. So, and he promised me that I will be getting my goods by tomorrow, that is Saturday. After payment has been made, he called me and said, oh, boss, sorry lah, your battery on Monday because the courier company is supposed to be scheduled to do the pickup only on Saturday, but they do not have any delivery scheduled on Saturday. They will only be delivering it on Monday. So I was really frustrated, because I as a consumer, I'm willing to pay a premium price, but I cannot decide the delivery time. So I was thinking, why is this happening? Why there's no company that follows the customer's time? Why should we always follow the courier's time? So I shared this idea with my friends, and then we decided to take the challenge and build everything up. So I believe technology plays an important role. Okay, technology plays an important role. As you see, a lot of companies out there, especially in my line, I think efficiency can be better, much more efficient if if everyone implements technology or utilizes technology fully from A until Z. Because if you look at China, in terms of how massive their parcel is, and with the how they rely on technology, they can make it efficient with the number of parcels being delivered every day. Compared to Malaysia, I think we have still a lot room to be improved. So we build everything in-house. We have our tech team. So we started off with not a perfect system, but with just a minimal system that is enough to cater for the customer's need. So if you interview some of my staff, my support staff, they had to do some SQL command statements to get some data out. Okay, so up to that level, because we just launched with whatever minimal system that we had in order to penetrate the market and just to try out and see what's the
the outcome.
The outcome. So that's how we started Zepto, and we started in 2016. And that's when I know Clarence, so my long-time buddy. Clarence.
So I see both of you do work together. There is some I'm pretty sure, because he also has a platform, and the whole idea, the beauty about this whole thing is, the idea here is not really to compete with each other, but to look at opportunities and how you can all help each other,
Yes,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah, help each other grow. Excellent. There are some questions that have come in. Like one of the questions was, how do I get all the contacts for courier services? But actually taking that question into a totally different context, what I wanted to ask actually is, do you find that there are a lot of service providers nowadays in terms of these courier services? Ever since MCO kicked in, it's been pretty competitive. So how would you look at offering a competitive advantage using technology? Because I think a lot of the others are also offering that same kind of advantage, right? Izzairi, actually the question's for you, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Okay, so basically, when you talk about logistics, you talk about delivery services. Okay, it's not about competing each other. It's about leveraging among each other, because this logistic game is not the same as Grab versus Uber. Okay, it's totally different. For example, a customer books a Grab, okay, from point A to point B, and there's no driver, he'll open up Uber.
Yes.
There's no driver, he will end up walking or taking a bus, or he will find any other alternative.
Options, yes.
Right. For logistics, once a customer books a delivery order and we have made the pickup, we need to deliver until the end, from A until Z. So if you cannot deliver, what you should do is leverage on partners, because if you don't deliver, you will end up having a lot of backlogs at the back. So that's why when people ask me about, there's a new player coming in with deep pockets from overseas, coming to Malaysia, opening up logistic company. So what's your thought on that? So my thought is always, I have a very persistence, in terms of the opinion, okay, where logistics, they need to leverage on each other, and they should there's a lot of more room to make it efficient through technology. So for example, in terms of technology, what we have done is like the routing system, for example, from point A to point B to point C to point D to point E, and so on. So before this, we do not have a smart routing optimization system.
Yeah, you had to do it manually, exactly.
Yeah. So our drivers and riders, they will have to, look at the app, and then they will have to map it manually and look at the distance. They will just estimate, or agak-agak.
Yes,
okay?
yes, yes. I come from that era of our industry where the guy had a big logbook and had to do things manually. Yes, I totally understand. So the message you're saying is, number one, having a variety is something that everyone needs, right? We need multiple options. This is the time. I mean, the whole advent of technology has done that, given us multiple options. And the second thing is, you can never do anything on your own. You have to look at smart partnerships, right? Here's a question for Jennifer. Jennifer, I think you might have to give a long answer for this one. All right, in the efforts of digitalization, you've explained how, like for instance, during the challenging times of the MCO, how you had embraced that challenge, and how you all had looked at a wonderful opportunity, how you could actually extend your service offerings, right? But I understand, because we're from the same industry, right? The logistics industry. we still have a lot of issues in terms of connectivity within our own internal networks, meaning that are you also facing that challenge when it comes to connecting to government agencies to communicate, especially when we talk about the replication of information? You mentioned the shipping lines. That's, I think, still quite manageable, quite very manageable. But when it comes to the various agencies within the myriad of our local logistics operations, right, how the whole system flows, is it challenging still for you? Or have you been able to come up with some solution that you can share with the rest of us?
Well, sad to say that it's very fragmented in terms of the government agencies which operate. You have one for example, if you talk about approvals for food, right? Food, you have the different government agencies. For dairy, that's one. For vegetables, it's another. For flowers, it's another. So in the fragmentation of the industry, it's very difficult to say, okay, you know, unless you have a political will to push every single government agency onto a single platform.
Exactly.
I think it's very difficult to say, yes, I've come up with something which everyone else can use, because it's not really my call. What we've done internally is more to manage what we can between our customers and ourselves in terms of gathering as much information, storing it properly, so that when we present it to one government agency, the same information can be replicated to present to the next guy and the next guy and the next guy who keeps asking the same questions.
Okay, let's fix it within the home with our customers so that we don't have to replicate the process when we have to deal with the various agencies, because yes, that continues to be a challenge. And I think we can increase efficiency of logistics if we can get everybody on that one simple platform, right? There are some questions pertaining to both our gentlemen here. Clarence, I'm going to ask you this question. This person by the name of Meng Chai Chan said, in my opinion, the most challenging part are the human power that there are when there are items missing. Like, how do you deal with this? Maybe you can start, Clarence, and then Izzairi can continue, because there's always that concern about damage of the products getting stolen. And then now there's also that security problems. How do you actually, using technology, how have you been able to help these sort of challenges or these concerns of people with regards to,
Thank you. So far we have more than like 60 over courier partners on our platform. So definitely, like what you mentioned, that a damaged item or even an item gone missing is one of the key. So how all these, we can actually compare like out of so many partners, right? So those partners who embrace technology on the real-time update on tracking, definitely they will be on the upper hands comparing to partners that is still on pen and paper. Because all this while, how are you going to define where the driver is? So if you cannot even define where all this driver is, how are you going to tell where the parcel location exactly now? So with all these smaller milestone or even the key lock for all these tracking updates, that will be one of the key tracking that we actually identify, and to help and assist to find out where potentially this item gone missing. Of course, at the end of the day, it's still down to human.
Yeah, it always boils down to that. Izzairi, would you agree with that same thing, with the same statement that Clarence made?
He's my buddy, so I should agree.
Okay. All right. Actually, I have a question to all of you here. Another thing, coming from the logistics industry, you know that our industry is a very old industry. Unfortunately, it's very new when it comes to technology adoption. Very, very, very late into technology adoption. And there are many pockets of opportunities that are still available. One of which I like what you're doing, Clarence, because what you're doing actually, yes, you're giving multiple options to people. You are helping other smaller companies that are doing the back-end portion of the work, and opportunity to participate, you know, on an equal standing platform. Do you see doing something like this for the warehousing as well? There are opportunities where, you know, when a 3PL company, a logistics service provider's contract expires, there's always that 2-3 months where the space is free. So do you think you're gonna get into that business, start offering some empty spaces on your platform as well?
Actually, you just highlighted one of key question that we consistently receive inquiries from the customers.
Yeah.
All this while we haven't really put it up in the platform as a service, but through the back end, we always do the introduction at the back. Like example, when customer asks, hey, we just introduce to, because the ecosystem is actually very small. Everyone actually knows everyone. So that's also how we actually grow the ecosystem together, by introducing customers that we don't really do for the time being.
Okay, all right. There's
yes.
a question here, I believe, on frozen food delivery or food deliveries. So you see, when you're doing delivery services for multiple products, how do you segmentate the products that, like, you know, there's a good cold chain movement that is available within our market, especially connecting the farms. Like, one of the challenges that was felt during the earlier stages of the MCO was the connection of the farms to the consumers. And when it comes to this, like food-based frozen goods, how do you assure quality and that, you know, the compliances, because you're working with multiple partners, right? So how do you ensure that they are compliant in terms of health safety requirements?
Hang on, just before you answer that, Reshma, I need you to wrap this thing up in about 4 minutes, if that's possible. Thank you.
Okay. All right. We seem to be going off. Right. Okay. I guess we'll wrap it up maybe with all of you giving some examples of how we can move forward, or how maybe some lessons on how companies can move forward in embarking logistics service providers on embarking on digitalization. So can I start with Jennifer, ladies first, and then we move on to Clarence and then Izzairi. You got it. Yes.
Right. Okay. So one key thing is cash flow, especially when you're doing B2B logistics and you give your customers credit terms, unlike Zepto and EasyParcel, which work on a cash term delivery. When you work with credit terms, one thing that is very important is to digitalize your cash flow. Stressing on accounting services as well as access to visibility to your cash flow. I think that is very important.
Yeah, thank you. From your point of view, thank you. Clarence?
Okay. From my point of view, I think it's a lot of companies, they always have the intention to digitize the process flow. It doesn't really just apply to logistic company, but how to start small, right? Rather than as a test pilot project, rather than getting the entire company to participate, because all these companies, they are giant in size, right? So yeah. How can we split? How can we eat an elephant, right? So we slice it by small pieces, then apply it, then try and error. Just keep trying
so
and
Chinese
error.
eating an elephant.
Yeah. He's into bite sizes first. Exactly. What about you, Izzairi? How would you like to end your session with your closing message to all of us?
Okay. I think I'm a bit pumped up in terms of now focusing or doing going into a niche market where to help the financial financial inclusions. Like now we are doing a lot of integrations with Maybank, CIMB, and some other banks. So I think we would want to see how logistics can help the FIs, and to boost the entire ecosystem of the financial industry. So I think, we'll see that.
Interesting. And in fact, that is a trend that's already setting in. Very good. Thank you very much. So since we're running out of time, thank you so much, Laureen, and I'll pass the mic back to you. And thank you very much for having me in to moderate for MDEC and Exabyte. And nice talking to all of you. I'm sorry, Jennifer, you didn't get to ask your question to Clarence.
It's okay, I'll ask it offline.
All right.
And thank you so much, Reshma. I think you did a marvelous job moderating this session. And to the rest of our panelists, Clarence, Izzairi, and Jennifer, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us here at the SME Digital Summit 2020. I am so sorry we had to cut things short. Time cracking time here, it just flies really quickly, especially, you know, with the
Yes,
home
it does,
stretch
indeed.
to cover.
Indeed.
But I think all of you did a marvelous job. So thank you so much once again. And we're extremely grateful. We'll see you again soon and enjoy the rest of the day.
Take care. Bye.
All right. Thank you
Bye,
guys. Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.